What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. I want to go ahead and react to this video that everybody is sending me with Candace Owens. Let's just get right into it.
And for today's episode, I feel like it is high time that somebody says the quiet part out loud. So today I'm going to do that. Ready? The majority of Americans cannot stand Pride Week, Pride Month, Pride Year, whatever it is. The month of June has been completely perverted, and the majority of Americans, including my gay friends, cannot stand this month.
Let me say this. I think that she looks incredibly nice. I am very much a fan of the look that Candace Owens regularly dons. But she certainly knows how to get an audience by saying something controversial and attacking the difficult subjects. I'm excited.
So I'm going to give you 5 reasons why that's true. You guys ready? Reason number 1, it's because Pride Month is emblematic of corporate cowardice. Everywhere you look, all of these corporations that don't even make sense are putting up rainbow flags, right?
That's true.
McDonald's, what was the issue with gay people at McDonald's? Were gay people not being served at McDonald's? I walk into a furniture shop a couple of weekends ago, and prominently displayed is this LGBTQIA flag. Everybody's welcome to shop here. At what point in American history were gay people not allowed to shop in furniture stores?
That is a very good point. I must say that I agree 100. I'm gonna have to do a breakdown with this with Q. This is a very good idea. I hadn't figured out what the show with Q or Q&A on my other channel was gonna be, but I'm gonna have to do a breakdown with Q because I think I'm uniquely suited to be able to have this conversation because I do not hate anybody, let alone gay people. So, the interesting thing about it is that I would look at a place funny if they're trying to capitalize. And I do look at places funny that say, I'm a black-owned business. It's like, no, you're a business. And if you suck, then I'm not going to come here again. And I'm not going to prefer you over another business just because you're black-owned. And if you're great, then I'm going to prefer you over other businesses because you have great service and not because you're black-owned. And it's the same thing that she's describing here with corporations getting into this thing. And it's almost like an overcorrection, so to speak, of what people think is egregious when it comes to not being recognized. Let me go ahead and keep going.
It's so emblematic of those stupid departments that are being built up. Diversity and inclusion departments.
That is a dumb department.
Somebody who is completely not qualified to even work at the corporations that they work at. Keeping a calendar of every ridiculous holiday that we continue to make up.
Is that what diversity and inclusion
that corporations
positions are?
Get on their knees about various social issues.
Huh.
We have to. We as a company are dedicating $200,000 to LGBTQ causes. Okay, where's that money even going?
Yeah.
That's my question. Where is the money even going?
I agree.
What is it that we are striving toward for gay people and lesbian people? What don't they have in America that they need us to donate dollars, corporate dollars, to make sure that they secure in the future? Number 2 is that actually it's insulting to black people. I've been pretty outspoken. I even think Black History Month needs to go away. But let me tell you something. If black people are getting 1 month for the stuff that we live through in America, somebody's going to need to explain to me how it is that gay people and lesbian and trans people also got a month.
Yo, in a way, I just kind of highlighted this when it came to the different businesses from a marketing perspective, but that's what we're looking at from corporate, right? But listen, I'm not the person that advocate for, and I guess this sticks, right? Because this is saying why people don't rock with or they hate Pride Month. And it's such a divisive thing, right? But in a general sense, because I don't align with myself with people based off of anything outside of the content of their character, I don't really care what you do. I just want you to be the best version of you and do things the right way. I can also understand how literally people will go through 400 to 600 years of slavery, regardless of how we got here or whatever, so on and so forth. And then you see people arguing for reparations and they get the shortest month of the year, February, and then February. And then you got another group of people that come over and they take over the whole June and they get the summer. And you get the summer.
Somebody give me the history lesson, right? That qualifies an entire month in celebratory rainbows. Was there an island
and they stole
where there was gay
rainbow.
people that were living happily,
took every color.
and all of a sudden they got put onto boats and chains and brought over to America and forced to work? I missed that history lesson that justifies them being able to throw their asses in my face for an entire month. It's annoying and it's ridiculous. Thomas Sowell, as you guys know, is one of my favorite authors, and he once wrote a quote, and that quote is, "Civil rights used to be about treating everyone the same. Yep. But today, some people are so used to special treatment that equal treatment is considered to be discrimination."
Substandard.
That is my opinion when it comes to the LGBTQIRS agenda. They think they're being discriminated against because they're not getting special privileges, right? Which brings me to point number 3, the slippery slope of it all. First, it began as just a day.
It is a slippery
day
slope.
of national pride and rainbows and sprinkles and Skittles. And they said, oh, actually, we're going to need a whole week to demonstrate to you guys that we are proud to be gay and lesbian and queer. And then they weren't satisfied with that. They said, actually, we're going to need an entire month to do this because we need more time to express this to you. And they're never going to be satisfied, right? But first, it was like, love is love. Gay marriage, it's just about gay marriage, love is love. And they got gay marriage and they said, actually gonna tack on a T here. We've got some transgendered issues and we need to be able to speak to your children.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Of all of the groups that are very much aggressive in being recognized and implementing whatever it is that they want to implement, this is quite possibly the most effective group that I've ever seen in my entire life. Overtly, right? Visual, effective. I think that this could quite possibly be the most effective group. People are literally afraid to even have a conversation about it, whether they agree with it or not, because listen, outside of the feminist movement, I would say that this is quite possibly the most effective group of all time. As a matter of fact, that might have to be a debate on Fight Club. Make sure you're subscribed to Fight Club.
About the fact that I'm a trans femme turtle, and if you're not comfortable with that, then it's because you're a bigot. That's the figurative gun to everybody's head, right? America's got a figurative gun to their head when these movements come around. It's you either put up an LGBTQIA flag or you hate homosexuals, right? You either put up a BLM flag or you hate black people.
Yep.
That's it. It basically puts all of America in the closet because we have to pretend that we don't mind what's going on for an entire month. And what's going on for an entire month? Oh, that would be number 4 on my list. It's perversity that is being dressed up as diversity.
This is about to be the most controversial one I can see. It seems as though we're going light to dark here. This is about to be very interesting. Okay, Candy.
You know what this is? Stop pretending that this is about pride when you need to wear assless chaps and shake your butt in front of a child's face. And then you say, oh, if you have any issues with this, then it's because you're a bigot and you're raising your child to be a bigot. Your baby needs to be anti-racist, like your baby needs to be anti and pro and supportive of all of these various causes. They need to be pro-trans. They need to be actively pro-trans agenda. It's debauchery everywhere you look. Look at the Pride Parade. Why is it so okay to take your children to a Thanksgiving Day parade? You have no fears, but you know fully well that if you take your child to a Pride Parade, your child is going to be exposed to a bunch of sexuality on display. Because
she is 1,000% correct. I have no disagreements with her at all, and that kids need to, in my personal opinion, be removed from the conversation from what adults are doing. I don't need anybody else educating my kid on what's best for my kid. I'm going to do that myself. But no, they're going to say, well, Anton, you just should remove yourself or whatever. No, I don't have my kid out here looking at anything that I don't necessarily think is the best thing for my eyes or her eyes at all. Now, obviously, it's being forced into our face, so we're forced to have completely different conversations. But it is egregious. It's absolutely egregious. My daughter don't even like watching, you know what I'm saying, certain things on TV that's not related to homosexuality. So why should I then, right? I forced that away from her. So why should it be forced into her or onto her for her to be able to view certain things or see certain things? Honestly, I don't see it. The context that she's adding, in my personal opinion, makes sense.
That's just what they're allowed to do for an entire month. They're allowed to be overtly sexual and pretend that they're a special snowflake, and that if you don't like it, it's because you're somehow a heterosexual freak who doesn't understand that people need to express themselves. Let me be clear. If a heterosexual couple acted in the same way as some of these couples act during a pride parade, I would be disgusted.
Yep.
Because it's just gross. It's
the same thing. The same thing. And I advocate, hey, listen, y'all should not be having sex before marriage. That is my personal opinion. I'm not going to force anybody to see things the way that I see it, but that's where I stand. And so why can't I be consistent across the board, or why do people get special exceptions for their sexuality or what they want to put on display for everybody else to see? I don't understand it.
Debauchery. Your sexuality doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care what your sexuality is. When you're being perverse, you should be called out for it.
Yep.
It's the same reason I called out Cardi B for her performance on stage when I felt she was being disgusting at the Grammys. I don't care that Cardi B is a heterosexual person. I care that there are children in America who shouldn't be forced to watch this sort of stuff. They shouldn't be forced to watch our cultural corrosion on screens.
Yep.
That's how the majority of adults feel when Pride Month comes along, but they're not allowed to say it.
I wonder if it's the majority.
Or else they will be accused of being bad.
That's the only thing that I'm wondering. I'm wondering if it's the majority or if it's really the minority.
Individuals who want homosexuals to be wiped off the face of the planet. Speaking of individuals who actually want homosexuals to be wiped off the face of the planet, let's talk about number 5. It's also the cultural ignorance of it all, right? You get these people that come up to you and they're waving their flags, and they're the same people that are waving their pride flags in one hand and the Ukraine flags in the other one, right? And then when you say, hey, wait, gay marriage is not allowed in Ukraine. Oh, it doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter.
Is that happening? I'm curious. Is that happening? Are people cross-promoting things that would not necessarily go and fly over in places where they're advocating for or where they're from and so on and so forth? Why would they get to do it here if they can't even do it from where they're from? And why do they get to... Let me continue to hear what she got to say.
There are actually places all across the world where homosexual people are oppressed and they never do anything for it. That's not what they're raising money for. They're raising money so they can indoctrinate our children with LGBTQ agenda ideas, right? They don't care. They'll tell you to donate tomorrow to Saudi Arabia if the right politician gets on stage and tells them to.
Facts.
They're ignorant about their very existence, and that drives me absolutely insane.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of difficult to continue to have discussions with people that don't want to discuss it, but we're going to discuss it anyway because that's what we do here. And that people automatically take you to be phobic about something when I don't necessarily fear anything. And I actually advocate for people being able to do whatever it is that they want to do. Just don't force it into my face, because I rock with people of all creeds, all colors, all sexualities, all of that, so on and so forth. But why would I even know what your sexuality is in the first place? Why is that a thing?
So bothers me on a spiritual level that it is a corruption of what the rainbow signifies theologically. Remember, this was God's promise that he would never again flood the earth.
Yep.
And sometimes I ask a question when I look around and I see all this ridiculousness going on, when I look at the perversion that our culture has become, and I look at everything that we're even talking about in this country, you wonder if he should make good on that promise or not. You wonder if we need a reset button of some sort on humanity all together.
I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself on that.
So in closing, it's a great irony that we spend this time calling it Pride Month, when in reality, it's anything but.
Okay.
We should not be proud of this. We should not be proud of the state of culture. It's actually everything that Americans should be ashamed of.
Honestly, that's pretty deep. I think that it'll be very difficult for somebody that's on the other side of our argument to argue against their point. I want to know what you guys think in the chat. Let me know Do you agree with all 5 points? Do you agree with some of them? Do you disagree with most of them? Do you disagree with all of them? Let me know what your comments are. I think that she makes a very good case. Very good case based off of the context that she added for all 5 points. I want to know. Let me know your thoughts. I'm curious. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, and then we're doing some phenomenal things inside of the Patreon. Make sure you check that out. The link is in the description for you to join the Patreon. And if you want to kick it with me personally or you want to get coaching, make sure you email me at Anton, A-N-T-O-N, Daniels413@gmail.com, or you can go to my website, AntonDaniels.com. That link is in the description. Click the email link and then send me a message and we're going to get you scheduled. All right. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. I'm curious. In addition to that, I need you to do me one more thing before we get up out of here. Make sure you tell your family and friends, because we don't want to be successful by ourselves. We absolutely, positively are going to keep running it up. We're going to keep being successful, and we're going to continue to have the difficult conversations. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to talk to you later. Peace.